So I want to point out again, we're going north to Oklahoma City, right? We have to go through Dallas. Look at the left-hand lane. Look at the right-hand lane. This is Texas.
I don't even want to think about it. I'm just going to go. Look, right there.
That's how you do it. Are we going to slap numbers, or what are we doing?
That's you, bro.
That's me?
I only slap one thing.
282.
It's episode.
It's right there.
282.
282. SlapperCast. Is that our weekly broadcast?
Last I checked, yes.
All right.
There.
I think so.
Or there. Nope, it's over here.
I'm leaving this in, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah.
This is the best part.
I teach engineering, yeah. So I'm very technically literate.
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to SlapperCast. This is a joy for us. Two of our good friends from up north in Heston, Kansas. We've just spoken about them a few times. They are Matt and John Werner of the Sassanachs. Good to see you again. We've had you on before and had a great time. So welcome back. Lovely to have you. For those who have never seen them before with the clothes on, they're in a pub in the basement of a house owned by Matt. And it truly is a pub, right? You built it yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Fantastic.
clothes are optional.
Yes. We're Porky-pigging it right now.
Of course. Yeah.
Yes. Oh boy, I'm glad I've got a dog sitting on my lap right now to hide my excitement.
I think it's cold in here.
Yeah. She just bit me. I was. Yeah. You sit there, you're going to get a little action. All right. Anyway, so a very little action. Hey, but welcome, seriously, and obviously we've got Turbo here. We got Smalls here who took a little cat nap, and he's back with us now, full force, right, Chad?
Yeah,
100%. Yeah,
I'm here.
Don't believe a word. So we had a blast with you last time. We had so much fun having you on here. We just wanted to do this again. We're going to do this a few times because we will be playing with you in just over a month up in Yeah, you're like, who's our booking agent and how do we slap them?
Gonna play with us.
Yeah. And I want to point out, too, Matt, I've been really enjoying your recordings. Can you tell us the songs?
Thank you.
And tell us what you just did?
It's funny. We recorded 4 songs, two covers, and then 2 of our originals. And last time we talked, you'd said, "Are you working?" And I said, we're laying down tracks as we speak, which was a total BS lie. Oh, sorry. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
They just weren't very good.
No.
So,
we did that first.
Yeah. So we really had to kind of get serious about it. And so we had bandmates and stuff were like, let's go to this recording studio. And we're like, oh boy, we're trying to think about the money and all that other stuff. And then the time that, when you got so many members in a band, so many instruments, it's like, this is going to get kind of dicey. And then we found a guy right here locally that he had some recordings on Spotify. We listened to it. We liked what we heard. And so we just said, hey, would you please come record us? And he said, sure. And I think he did a phenomenal job. I think it sounds really professional.
It does.
He doesn't want us to promote him because he says he doesn't want to do much more than his own music and our music. So
he's already had enough.
Yeah.
His
name is Dave Waters.
Oh.
He's done a great job with us, and we're very happy with it.
Yeah, I have to say,
I
I think the originals are tremendous. I mean, they're all good, but the originals are that's your bread and butter. Really top job. Yeah.
Now, when we started Black and Tans, you hadn't really released strong your Black and Tans, and then when yours came out, we were like, crap. Let's go back to the drawing. Play at that point. We couldn't unring the bell.
Yeah, well, ours doesn't.
We're probably going to redo ours as well.
Yeah, yes, we are. Let me just ask you real quick. Do you find that after especially the originals, do you find that after you write them and perform them a couple of times, that they grow into a different song? Like, do you retool, or are you just really happy with the way that they end up and keep them doing like that, or do they morph into a newer or a different song?
No, I do think they already have morphed. You know, as the cat's
back.
Cat's going to join us again.
Remember last time he was here?
So yeah, no, they are more, and that's the hard part. Is like, at what point do you put them? At what point do you record them? Because a year or two from now they're going to be a little bit different. But what's cool is people are singing them in the crowd now. You know, and that's no, it turned out better. Like I said, pretty happy with it, and I couldn't have done it myself. You know, we tried, but just what Dave was able to do with it, with the, obviously with the software and everything, and then his experience has helped us quite a bit. So,
and also
cool.
A foreign ear. I have to point to my ear. That's just for me because I don't want my ear. A foreign ear when you're working with your own material is crucial. I'll say that we did a couple of songs today in rehearsal. A couple of new songs. I just gave them kind of the riffs, and the lads jumped in, and Chad and Turbo both immediately had, hey, what about? I mean, instantaneously had ideas for it, and I know that if we wrote and finished those songs today, I know that tomorrow it would be they would still be a different song, and then after you play them live, there'd be another different song. And I don't mean that that you write "Sweet Caroline" and you end up with "Jump" by Van Halen. I don't mean that. I just mean you write what you feel, and you write But then the lads come in, and they now how many in the Sassanachs? Do you have 7 members?
Yeah.
We're getting ready to lose one. Meg, our accordion player, is going to go to college. She'll come back and help us as much as she possibly can, but that kind of sucks. We're going to be sans accordion for a while, but
yeah, wow,
yeah.
What was funny? One of the original songs, when we were in Ireland, we had the initial. My family went there just for a 10-day trip, just for her graduation, actually, high school, and it was a trip planned, and COVID got canceled, so. We redid it this year. So I slipped our songs into the playlist while we were just going down the road. They were just on Google Drive, so I had to kind of get a little sneaky about it. But I was trying to see if my wife and my son would notice, because I knew Meg would. And finally they caught on, and they were like, my gosh, you guys really ripped this band off with your version.
Wow, that's cool.
Wow.
So anyways, Meg says, I really like the one, the Man Down. She goes, can I play accordion on it? Because she normally doesn't. So she sat upstairs while we were getting ready and figured out what she was going to do, and came down and ripped it one take. And it was a pretty cool. And that's what's cool about it is, it's a got family, me, John, Meg, all now we're at least, we got the song, we're all on it. There are a few songs, so it's pretty cool. Pretty cool feeling.
I have a couple questions for you. Did you guys release these songs as 4 singles or an EP?
So just to get them out quick, I want to get them out quick. I was tired of sitting on them. We did release them as 4 singles, but I'm going to re-release them again as a mini album or whatever you want to call it.
Okay. That's
the nice thing is we use the distributing service that we can release as many as we want. It doesn't increase the price or anything like that. So
yeah,
we can. That's one thing too. Is like this one's for you. That's the one that we pay homage to you guys and mention you guys in. But it's a pretty new one for us, and we were kind of, should we do it? Nah, let's go ahead and do it. But if we go out and we tour and we do whatever if we go around Harvey County in Kansas and play shows and we decide we want to change it, that's the cool thing is we can just re-record it and send out the next version of it or whatever. I'm not. It's not like the old days when you're put it on a cassette tape or whatever, and it's going to go circulate forever, and it's going to come back and haunt you someday or whatever. If you want to take it off of all these streaming services, you can knock them off and put the new version up there. So I really do like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to record it?
It took a long ass time. No, it was funny because that's the one thing is I'm glad we didn't go to a studio, because Dave was willing to take the time that we needed to get it right, and it was really cool to watch that process on it. And the other thing too is, you know, we've all got jobs, we've all working. He's always on the road and stuff like that. So it was like 2 hours, 3 hours at a time. We could never really get down here and just plug away. So, you know, that was awesome that he was able to do that. And I'm glad that he would work with us. And then it was funny because we'd say, okay, perfect. And we'd go home and listen to it. And we'd say, no, wait a second. No, that's not perfect. We need to do that again or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out which song I'm going to sort of sneak on stage with. Like, which one do I? Hey, man, here, check this out. I switch seats, you know?
I'll tell you a quick, the song, This One's For You, that riff, that opening riff I've had forever. Like, I've played that. I've always messed around with it. It's easy. It's like just a little box riff. And so we went to that Scots Fest, honestly, because we thought you guys were going to be there, and then you didn't go that year. But anyways, we went, and Flatfoot 56 was there. And I was watching them, and they get so much like crowd participation in almost all their songs. And I found myself even singing along with songs that I've never heard before. Yeah. And I thought, I want to do that. I want to write a song that's kind of sounds cool, but it's simple enough that somebody can just jump right in and sing along with. And so It was funny. I brought that down to the drummer, and I said, hey, listen to this riff. What do you think? What would you do with this? And I had no clue, really. And he goes, dude, it sounds like an 80s song, like something from 80s metal or something. And I said, cool, go with it. Let's go.
Yeah.
So he starts doing that 80s metal thing. Well, then this will, remember, I am very musically illiterate. I have no formal training or anything like that. I didn't even freaking play a clarinet in high school. I didn't touch any of that stuff. So I said, well, it's 80s. So what could I do for the verses? And so I remember, this is going to, White Lion had a song called Wait.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he, again, I'm going to use wrong terminology, but he would use open A string and do like this kind of these descending chord kind of, but it was all A basically.
Yeah.
I took those same chords and rearranged them.
Nice.
And then that's what that is. That's what you hear is a kind of a variation of Wait, but going in a different order or whatever like that. So it's sound 80s. And so that's how that kind of came to fruition. And then when I did the lyrics, I was telling Matt, I want to honor our fans and supporters. And then I want to kind of give a shout out to obviously the workers. We talked about the bartenders and the waitresses. And then I wanted to give a shout out to our inspirations, the people that like inspired us. And that's obviously where Blaggards came in. And that's why we threw you guys in there, because it's truly an honor to get to play with you guys. But also too, before that, you were kind of like heroes to me for sure, and someone that I wanted to emulate a little bit. All the cool crap I do on stage, I stole from Patrick for sure.
Yeah, and I listen.
Except for the hair.
Yeah, but you got it here.
Doesn't quite work.
Yeah, but we obviously we met in Weston, Missouri, and fast friends. And seriously, it's a huge honor for us, because not only are we, and I meant to say too before we go too far afield, Meg is not only a phenomenal accordion player, but she's also related to to one of the main guys in the band. So it's a little bit of nepotism in there, but she got the job because of her skills, but she is related. So don't think that she just walked in off the street and just got the job. She's pretty. Anyway, so back to the thing. We met and fast friends. We all had the same kind of stuff a lot of stuff in common. And then to find out that you guys were doing this, and to do something that to hear something that we enjoy. And this sounds terrible, but that's my specialty. We go to a lot of these festivals, and you hear some of these old versions of the songs, and they're more tired than the original songs that you're doing, and that drives me up the fucking wall. I mean, I can't take it. Physically it makes me sick. So to see what you were doing, you guys had, and I know what you mean. When you joke about, you guys are your own entity. You guys are your own sound. You guys are your own. It really is. And I wouldn't say that. The only thing I have to say, the only thing I've ever seen that I've never seen anybody do before was, when they take their home theaters to the stage. First time I saw you guys I was like, wait a minute. They've got 52-inch screen. It was just the funniest thing. I'll never forget that. It was the funniest thing I ever saw. But
you'll guys be happy to know we've gotten rid of those.
I know. I saw that.
Really?
I watched some of the videos. Yeah. Yes. And I'm serious. To finish that first thought, your music it's 100% your own. Yeah, you definitely tip your hat to, Flogging Molly and the bands that you love, but you guys have got your own sound. You guys are doing your own thing, and that to me, that's what we live to do that shit. We don't write for anybody else but ourselves. And again, the last point I'll make. Sorry, this is so long, but we recorded Blagmatic during the lockdown. So the reason why I was asking about how the songs morph and how they when you take the stuff out on the road afterwards, and we had the luxury of upgrading our drummer, down the road after we had recorded it, and then we get out on the road. Now we're recording, so we have to re-record all our shit because now these songs are so. And again, I'm really not knocking anybody. The songs just need to be played in front of people to get the, to find out how you're going to deliver them, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Now, your point of remaking some of those songs and they're more tired than the original. We definitely do the opposite, but we just look tired.
No. You guys have got a great crew, and I'm serious. It really is. It's a joy to watch because, you can tell the camaraderie. Chad had a birthday a few weeks back, and I looked over at him during one of the shows. And I was like, he looks the same as he did 20 years ago when he started. He's still as enthusiastic about showing up for a gig and get ready. He's still as excited as 20 years later, and it's just it's a shock to me because I'm bored with my lingerie right as it comes out of the box. I have to send it back. But it's Turbo acts so shocked.
Wait, did you say? Hold on. Did you say I'm bored with my lingerie out of the box?
Yeah. Did I stutter?
There's no judgment here,
bro. You need a new sport.
Kilts. We wear kilts. We're men in dresses. So what the hell? Why would we judge?
Yeah.
We're not even Scottish or Irish. We have no business wearing kilts. We just do it because we like dresses.
I love it.
Oh my God.
I was able to use that joke Saturday night because the bugs were bad, and Meg was fighting them. She's playing, and I'm like, you notice they're not bothering us because we got kilts on.
Keep the flies out of your face.
Yeah, it sure keeps the flies off my watermelon. Man. That's for sure. But I've been to those we've all been to those festivals where you see the guy in the New Balance runners and the kilt and you see him and you go your heritage, you've got some Celtic heritage. You go, no, I just like, and then then you go, okay, I know what you're up to. He's got some pets at home that are like, So
now I did have a DNA test and we found out we were Scottish, but we didn't have a clue. So I guess that's not really our heritage. It's in our DNA somewhere, but how we got it, we don't know. Mom,
yeah.
Mom was with Dad. We're pretty sure Dad was German, but who knows, you know?
I think we talked about this last time. My mother and I had discovered the same thing. That we were like, Scottish? Where did that come from? You know?
Them Scots, they got around.
Yeah, apparently
Oh,
so.
yeah. Yeah.
I got 0.
So that,
I did the test too.
Yeah.
No Scott.
No,
I
Scots.
was English and Irish.
Well, the
Irish.
Irish, they're just Scottish people that can swim, right?
Yeah.
100%.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That hurt.
It's funny when we're at a show, you know, they always look at Turbo and they go, "That's the Irish guy," and they go, "No, California." You know, wait till you hear how many times he says "dude" and "rad" in a night.
I think you say it more now than you've ever said it. I know you make fun of it, but I think that's your way of saying it without actually admitting that.
Oh, without saying it, yeah.
That's what.
Okay.
I'm on to you now, dude.
I think you're asking me to stop pointing that out. Is what you're doing right now. So
No,
I'll say
come on,
DNR.
baby.
I'll say DNR.
No, just
It
look. I got a big bus.
DNR.
I got extra seats. Get on the bus, dude. Come on, dude, bro, rad. Let's go. Get
If
on.
it hurts, I understand. I used to work at the Hooters. I understand.
So where are we going?
Oklahoma.
No, don't say it like that. Start again.
Oklahoma.
OKC. OKC. You can't spell rock without OKC, right? Think about it.
Ah, shit.
Did you just make that one up, or did you already have that one?
I thought of it the other day. But yes, I just thought of it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was it. Yes, we're going to a place called the Angry Scotsman. It's a brewery in Oklahoma City. So I want to point out again, we're going north to Dallas. We're going north to Oklahoma City, right? We have to go through Dallas. Look at the left-hand lane. Look at the right-hand lane. Look at these. Look at the way. This is Texas. Everybody's in the left lane because I think they they use less gas and they go faster and they get there quicker. Because it's just insane to me. Now, I was in the left-hand lane a second ago only because of what was coming up. You know, well, I saw it was coming. But it's just, and then they all wait till their exit to go at the same time. This is just hilarious to me. But it happens so often that I'm bored of it. But it's just, it doesn't make any sense. Do you sit in the left lane? Your left lane?
Nah, I'm a right lane.
Right lane? Chad?
No, I'm a right lane guy.
Right lane?
I mean, if it's more than 2,
Yeah.
I'm usually middle.
Yeah.
Lane.
Yeah, me too.
But
Yeah, this is insane. Yeah, always middle. But I'm the same there because of the people entering and exiting, and we'll see here. Well, not here. See, people are getting the hang of it now. Well done. But they all sit in the left until their exit comes, and then they bolt, and that drives me. Obviously, not a fan. So, what's your biggest pet peeve driving?
There's people who don't signal. Fucking hate it. They're just weaving in and out of lanes with no regard for anybody else around them. Fucking hate it.
So you're talking all Volkswagen drivers?
Just Volkswagens.
I can't say BMW still got to get in trouble.
There's all different kinds of cars I've seen do that.
I know.
Yeah.
It's now Teslas for me. It says every Tesla I see, it's like, just say, your car is ugly enough. You do not need to draw attention to it. Turn your signal.
I think it cracks me up. You and I have observed this. People who will change lanes suddenly with no signal, and then you'll see the signal turn on for a second.
As they're in that.
Well, like even after they've completed the lane switch, you're just like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, I'm driving home from, I went to see the Wooten Brothers in Houston, Texas,
Yes.
at the Heights Theater. And that was July the 3rd. And I got to see 4 of the finest players. If you've ever been to a show where each member of the band could play with anybody on the planet at any time in history, that's the Wooten Brothers' gift. They can play anything and do anything, and showman and harmony and soul. God, changed my life. Changed my life. Just a tremendous show. Sound was okay. The guitar player, I couldn't believe the tones he was getting. Just him and a Strat, and he was playing through a PV, a little, I think it was a little 110 PV. It's an older amp, but he got just tremendous sound, but he wasn't up near enough. He wasn't as loud as he should have been. But drummer Victor Wooten, of course, and the keyboard, I mean, just insane. Now, pet peeve, a DJ opened the show, and I happen to know this guy. His name is DJ's son. He's out of Houston. We used to hire him at a club I worked at in River Oaks way back when. And so he came out, and there was a table with all his stuff on it, and music just started playing. He's doing buttons and just got the one headphone on, and it was a very strange. I'm not into that. Never have been into that music. I like some of the tracks he was playing, and all. Yeah. Obviously it takes a huge skill to be able to blend the music and the blah 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 and put your scratches in and do your little twiddly bits and on and on and on. But to me, it's when you have players like that, and you put, I mean, again, I don't know who I would put on to open, but it wouldn't be a DJ. It wouldn't be music coming from it, you know. And what cracked me up was I went with one Keith of York, drummer extraordinaire, music historian, which I guess we've known, but amazing person. He was horrified, and Keith can't talk like that. So he was his dander was up, I'll say, when there was a DJ opening, and DJ's son at this, I guess, second last song said, "Okay, I'm going to play one more song," and he goes, "What? You haven't even played one song, goddamn!" The DJ's set was not even close to what I would expect. You know, I'm sure that there are DJs that are able to read the room but I don't even think he looked up. I think he just came up and just kind of stood there, and I said, "Can't you program that stuff? You don't even have to be there." So there's a lot of equipment on the stage. So he's right on the front of the stage, and he's got the stage presence of a disregarded foreskin or something. I mean, just, and then there's no. And then he said, "I'm going to play one more song. I'm DJ Son. Thank you for listening." My heart was full. I was not happy. And then, of course, the Wooten Brothers come out, and all your cares are gone. All your happiness is replaced. And
have you ever heard of a fucking DJ opening up for an actual?
I've heard of a DJ. I've never been unfortunate enough to be in until now. My luck just ran.
Insane.
Yeah. Why would you? I mean, I imagine if you're going to listen to some music that has backing tracks, you know what I mean, right? Yeah. I mean, if you're going to see somebody that plays along to, like, what's her name? Jeff Duncan was telling us about her. Lindsay Sterling, is that a fiddle player?
Possibly.
I think it's a fiddle player that plays to tracks.
Oh.
And people love her. They just think she's the best. And fiddle players don't necessarily think she's that good. But again, that could be the whole, musician thing. I could do that. So I could see a DJ opening up in a situation like, if you're going to see somebody play with tracks, I could see that. But I don't want to have any part of that.
People hate Tom Brady, and he's the best. You know what I mean?
Who's that? Is he a fiddle player?
Yeah. Number 12.
Number 12?
Yeah.
Is he violin?
Yeah.
Fiddle? Good. Tom O'Brady.
Yeah. O'Houlihan.
Tommy O'Brady. Yeah, I never heard of her.
Some people just hate to hate.
Oh, I know. And it's so easy to, like I just said, I wouldn't go and see somebody playing to tape. Yeah, I mean, it bothered me more than I even thought it would.
I mean, have you seen those concerts? Like, look at the videos of the EDC. You know, like that.
The what?
The EDC. It's that big, festival where it's like kind of rave style.
What does EDC stand for?
I don't know. Electronic something. But it's like, dude, there'll be so many thousands of people, and it's just, and they watch how they control the crowd, like you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I was expecting.
Yeah, look that up. I think you would like it. I think you would go, oh my God, they're controlling the crowd.
Yeah.
But it's a full show, lights and music, and it's cool, dude.
Okay, so this brings me to, I know we've touched on this before, but are there any artists like that you know of that you listen to that play to tape that? Like if you went to see them in concert, you would be treated to backing tracks with live on top of it.
I think a lot more bands do that than you may think.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to see Ghost I took my daughter to see Ghost in concert in Stafford, just south of Houston, and I still think that there's a lot of stuff going on that stage that's not live. It was just so pristine, and
I think that's happening more than you think. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, because it's hard when there's so many people on the stage. It's hard to keep track of, of who's doing what. But at the same time, I know a little bit about sound and how it travels.
Yeah.
And
ZZ Top definitely had some stuff going on.
Oh, big time.
So, I mean, there were songs where it was clearly he wasn't even singing. I think it was like the hits, like She's Got Legs and Give Me All Your Lovin'. It just didn't. All of a sudden, his voice sounded young again. It was like, you're not singing that.
He smokes every day. There's just no way he can hit those highs anymore.
Right.
But again, if you're gonna do that, Billy Gibbons gets that. That's what the argument was.
He's earned it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But you could tell that it wasn't everything. It was only a couple of songs that had, it wasn't his vocals, but I'm sure almost all of them had pre-taped, backing tracks because they were keyboards and stuff going on, all the the synthesizer stuff.
Which are on the record,
right?
Yeah, it's not.
So that's fine.
Do you consider a click track part of backing tracks?
No, I understand the click track more and more now than I did before. I don't hate them as much now because to me they kind of suck. Younger me would say the click track crushes the soul, not crushes, but hurts the soul of the song a little bit. Because if you want to be able to push it a little bit more,
right,
or slow it down, or just make it breathe a little bit, like we were doing in Soho yesterday.
Sure.
You're not in control of that when the click track.
Yes, and then when you get off it, there's nothing that sounds worse than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is, amount of people trying to catch up or slow down to that thing. There's just nothing worse.
Yes.
I will take a Vince Neil a cappella record before I listen to before I'd like to hear people trying to grasp the click track.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about, kids, just for those that don't know, click track is basically a metronome that plays in your ear, not throughout the house system, but in the band's ear. It'll play and it'll keep them in time. I also show them, if the time signature of the song changes, so will the click track. So it's just a timekeeper, and it's a mechanism, and it can be used very tastefully.
Sure.
And I was just thinking about this in the way that we used to start Delilah. Well, I used to just sing it, and we all go ba 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 with no click. But that would be so easy with a little click, because it's one of the many variables in playing live music is we're very well rehearsed. However, in a live situation, I'm a little bit more nervous and jumpy than these two. So my 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 is going to be different from yours. Your 2, 1, 2, or you know what I mean? They're all going to be. We're going to say, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Bah! We all come in, right? But I'm nervous, so I'm probably a little ahead of it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, pound, and you go, ah. So a lot of the times you can get away with that because we're very animated and we're blah, blah, blah. But the click is phenomenal. Now, the Wooten Brothers did not use a click. I guarantee you they didn't use a click, and I'll tell you why they didn't use a click. Because they put stops in, they changed time signatures, and they would tell you what they're doing. Victor Wooten started the song, and he goes, we're going to do this one in E minor, we're going to do 11/8. And I'm going to give you 2 seconds, 1, 2. And they started and they played it 11/8. And as they're playing the song, he goes, okay, 4/4, and they switch. And it's just,
wow.
I'm going, and then they would put these stops.
That's not easy, dude. That's hard.
I know. I was losing. I'm sweating now thinking about it.
Yeah.
It was magical. It was beyond sorcery. It was beyond a dream sequence. It was, because not only are they, see, I always said this about people like the Bee Gees, Wooten Brothers, Van Halen, Eddie and Alex, obviously. They have the Pandora. Never forget Vinny and Dime. Never forget. Those guys could read each other, and I believe it's that family bond thing that, you know, and obviously people that play together enough get it, but I really believe that if it's a sibling, that you're going to have a little bit more, you're going to have just like that heads up.
Sure.
Bee Gees had it vocally. They were able to do stuff that people just weren't doing. A friend of mine whose name has already been mentioned on this show is not a Bee Gees fan, and it's very, very hard to hold my tongue, but he said his quote was, yeah, Bee Gees to me were like Alvin and the Chipmunks, but Alvin had better material. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. So, and in their defense, in the Bee Gees' defense, I will say that they sing. This isn't in their defense. This is a two-parter. But the first part is, in the Bee Gees' defense, they did not set out to ruin rock and roll, but they did, and they didn't mean to do it. But if you are releasing a song, and every time you release that song, it goes straight to number one, and if that one song then ends up in a movie that goes straight to number one, and you're the soundtrack, you're not going to stop doing that. Hey guys, let's try some Gregorian chants with some death metal guitar. You know, you're not going to do that. You're not going to switch horses midstream. Go and do that. So they did that, but then they destroyed, much like grunge in the 90s, they destroyed all the other, there was nothing else to, you know, everybody was listening to that.
Nothing to talk to.
So
I know you kind of ding grunge, but I will say Pearl Jam, you know, they fought up against Ticketmaster. Remember that back in the day?
I love those guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love Pearl Jam, but I was reading about that again the other day, and I was like, man, I love this kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know, they were like, nope, this is what we're doing.
They stopped making music videos, too, at some point.
Yeah, I forget that part of it, or I don't remember when that was. But they, like,
In the 90s,
they
I
lost, like, millions and, like,
Yeah.
canceled tours, did their own. They would only play shows that would honor their pricing, and
yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
It's
and
amazing.
Anybody with integrity, imagine that. You know, we're gonna, yeah. The thing, again, I'm a Bee Gees fan, so I'm not going to be, I can't be, but it would also be really difficult too when your team, you know, your management company, your road crew, and your family, and everybody is dependent on you, and now you're at this level that most bands will never see, and I mean 99% of bands will never see that success. How are you going to stop that? You're going to keep going, and then all these artists are calling you. Hey, can you write me a song? Hey, can I have a song? You know, write me a song. And they're writing these hits for Barbra Streisand. Dolly Parton. All these huge, huge names. And well, I mean, you're forbidden. You're forbidden to. You know, it's like Turbo shows up. He goes, "Hey, I left my arm at home. Can we play the click tracks today?" You know, it's like, no, we'll just
What?
just saying. I'm just saying you're not going to there's certain things that you just won't do, and when you're on a string of hits like that, you're not going to stop it. You're not going to do anything to shake that.
Yeah, no, that snowball's rolling, dude.
Yeah.
You ain't stopping.
Yeah.
We should get Blaggards on the bottom.
Oh, look at that.
I like that idea.
It's a little small though.
Yeah, no, I
And it's
don't
old.
like the...
Yeah, flip them off. Flip them up. A friend of ours was just the other day was saying that we need a social media manager. We need to hire somebody to do our social media. They were appalled at our numbers. I said, really? What's the benefit? I mean, so another question. Right now, the year 2024, the merry month of July, give me a good reason and a bad reason, well, reason for and a reason against having a social media manager. Anybody?
Reason for is your energy can go somewhere else. So if you're spending so many hours on social media, you can use that time to do something else, right? Say you're writing songs, or
Yeah.
you're recording, or we're doing. You just have to make sure you use that time for something else that's more productive. That would be the positive.
Chad, positive, negative?
Reason for, unfortunately, that's where the world is. And like Drew was saying, we only have so much time in the day with everything else we're doing. And I'm not saying we should get one, but I can see why people would spend the money on them. And I know a lot of people do.
Yeah.
A lot, especially those big names. They've got teams of people who do that for them.
Yeah. I understand that. I just don't. I've never known anybody to be. I've never known anybody that's not just been throwing it out there like spam, like just. I've never seen anybody with a formula, a strategy. Because everybody on the internet right now is. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know, but everybody on there right now is a. Everybody on there right now is a expert. However, I see numbers. I don't see packed houses.
Right.
That's where I don't care about numbers. I care about the club.
Right.
Who has numbers and not packed houses?
Who has numbers and not packed houses?
Yeah, when you say you see that,
let me see.
who you're referring to?
I'm not going to say their name on here, but
Tell me off camera.
Yeah. So there's quite a few of those. There's people with great numbers, but I just don't see them
Translating.
into the. And when I
Are
say
the people who are on those numbers, are they actually even going to shows? Or are they experiencing
that's
everything
what- that's
online?
what-
I think it's a different avenue. I think
yeah.
this, man, people just sit in bed and they're doing this now,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to know what because I certainly can't tell you. I just don't. Like I said, I can't tell you what the numbers are versus the people that show up at the gigs. And here's my reason for no. You don't need a social media, because everybody I ask, if I ask a club, if I ask a promoter, if I ask anybody, the venue, the people that work at the venues, anybody. If I say, where do I go to advertise for your show that will benefit you and us? Not one person has come back and said, oh, here, call this person or do this. Like when we go to Illinois, Illinois, we work with the Whip radio station with Auntie Lori in Illinois, and they promote all the time. They have a radio station and they do their thing and they play what they want. That's gold. Now we haven't played there in a long time, so it's going to take a little work to get the word back out. But when we go to a new place, Oklahoma City, new-ish, we never played there with Turbo. We have played there before. Many funny stories with that. But when I ask, I say, who can we call? Where's your local radio station? Who's your local rag? Do you have an equivalent to a Houston Press magazine, rag magazine, or back in the day, you know, the public news, all these different, just papers that you could pick up at the music shop. They were all free, and music news in Houston, all these things, but nobody's picking those things up anymore. The stacks that used to be as big as the newspapers, the Chronicle, the Press, all that, I mean, they've all gone down to these tiny little. So nobody's getting print media, nobody's listening to the radio. So if you're a social media manager, I just did the quotes, that's got to be legit. But if you're, how do you sell that? How do you entice people to pay you a weekly, a monthly, a daily, a hourly? You know, I don't know. I'd love to know. I wonder if anybody watching knows.
I'm sure it's the same with people who need help just updating a website if they just don't want to touch it and they know they need to be there. You know, just, hey, I don't know, just do something with this because I don't care. You know?
Yeah.
I see a lot of accounts like that on Instagram, for example, where you'll just see it's just stuff they're putting up there to kind of keep the person, the artist, whatever, keep them in the, you know, keep them on people's minds, you know, so they're always flipping past in their stories. I'll see that with if there's an artist, a comic book artist named Alex Ross, very talented guy, but repeatedly he's got a feed on Instagram, which is just his artwork. Repeatedly, I'll see the same thing pop up, like there'll be a really great painting you did, and then a month later the same one will pop up again, and it just rotates, you know. It's just this constant regurgitation of content going on.
Well, I think it's I think it's a connection to the success. So I think the social media management should be the booking agency. It should be the overall touring company, because like Destiny Booking, who I follow them, they're sending me all these bands that I like, all their shows, all their this, and it's marketing, but the band's page isn't spamming. And so it's kind of this cross promotion because their success is connected to it. That's how I think somebody who's running your social media it's almost coming through this other channel as well. Otherwise, what happens is, in my opinion, if I see somebody just constantly pumping the same things, I eventually start to not see it anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so it's almost that cross.
Yeah.
And then they're connected to the success because obviously their companies benefit. That's what I think. I've never done something like that before, but I think that it's that's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I had it pegged. The chances of you getting noticed, we're putting these ads out, we're putting these posters together, we're putting the show dates and the news of the day, all that stuff out, but you're having to compete with. So Chad, the fact that you're seeing the same thing regurgitate over and over again, a lot of people won't see that, or if they do see that, the attention span is so small that you're not going to notice, or the people that are not on there every 2 seconds.
Right.
So, it's perplexing, and I'd love to hear what you all think.
Yeah.
Because this has been I won't say the bane of our existence, but it's been pretty tough at times. There's nothing worse. We said that. I can't imagine how many times we've said this, but the amount of times we've driven away from a gig and you get those emails going, I didn't know you were in town. And it's like, you've got 1,000 things to do. You've got 1,000,000 things to swipe past. You just missed it. And the fact that we're on this, you're on our social media sites, does not guarantee that you're going to see what's coming through. It's profoundly stupid how it's set up, but I understand that they got to make their money. They got to make they got to keep people on there. It's
one of the best, and I know we've attempted to do this. Sometimes it goes well, but the best feeds I've seen is where people are sort of like documenting what they're up to, where they're going, you know?
Yeah.
It's like kind of an ongoing log kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite feeds that I watch on Instagram is Klaus Bormann, who was artist, also, you know, famous session bass player from the 70s. Played on a lot of Ringo's and George Harrison's, pretty much all of George Harrison's solo records, Harry Nilsson, John Lennon. But he also did the cover to the Beatles album Revolver. It's what he's most famous for. But he's like 86 or something now, and he's still very active artist. And I think one of the reasons why his Instagram feed is so great, not just the fact that he's open to it being there, but his daughter, who's also an artist, I think probably helps him with it. So there's a lot of actual videos of him painting and, you know, or going to an exhibition or something. There's always something going on that's being documented. And I know that's great if you got somebody who can do that. The trick is actually having somebody who can do it. And the only alternative is constantly turning a camera on yourself.
Yeah, this is endless, my friends. This is endless. We're going to be going up the Midwest. Well, we are today as well. We're going to be going further up the Midwest. We're going to be playing with our friends the Sassanachs coming up here very soon. We're going to have one of the, I think it's the biggest day of the year in July coming up. But we can't tell you about it until it's over. Sorry. And then we're going back to O'Malley's in western Missouri. We're going to the Dubliner in Omaha, Nebraska. Bunch of stuff coming up. Be a good time to check out the website. What else we got? Oh, we got Ireland coming up. We got Ireland. We got the...
Not too far away.
Yeah, there she goes. What else?
We got a little West Coast run.
Yeah, September. Halfway to Paddy's. You check your website. You let us know if we're coming through your town, and we'll tell you the day we leave that we were there.
Yes.
Good.
All right.
Let's go.
See ya.